Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Discussing World's Greatest Mysteries. And today we are going to talk about the lost city of Atlantis. If you're a new listener, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Carla Polanco.
I am Alber Castillo.
My name is Enmanuel Quiñonez.
And my name is Janna Beras. Nice to meet all of you.
Thank you, panelists, for being here with us today. Before we get started, it is important that you listeners get into context first. The lost city of Atlantis is known as one of the oldest and greatest mysteries of the world. According to Plato, the Utopian island kingdom existed some 9,000 years before his time and mysteriously disappeared one day. In my opinion, I believe that the lost city of Atlantis must have been sunk into the ocean. And the reason I believe this theory is because Ignatius Donnelly argued in his book Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, that the Atlantic Ocean was only a few hundred feet deep. Donnelly described a continent flooded by shifting ocean waters that sank in the exact same location Plato said Atlantis was.
In fact, Carla, I have done some research and Edgar Cayce's theory about the existence of Atlantis city seems credible and might be interesting. Cayce, who was a clairvoyant who in his frequent trances had dreams and visions of Atlantis and its advanced civilization. Cayce believed that the Atlanteans had known atomic energy and flight techniques, but their brilliant civilization ended up being destroyed by nuclear catastrophes. The first one, 50,000 years before Christ, and the last one, 10,000 years before Christ. But many Atlanteans who knew how to notice the disaster had previously emigrated to Egypt and Central America. Cayce geographically located Atlantis on the island of Bimini, a small part of the Bahamas, and predicted that in 1968 or 69, some aspects of the ancient temples of the civilization would be discovered since sea levels would return to low levels of the time before Christ. Although this never happened, but it might have been interesting to see it.
Actually, many writers expanded on Donnelly's theory and added their own as to where Atlantis may have been. One of these writers was Charles Berlitz, who claimed in 1970s that Atlantis was a real continent located on the Bahamas that had fallen victim to the notorious Bermuda Triangle. You know, that region of the Atlantic Ocean where a number of ships mysteriously disappeared without trace. He even wrote a book called Atlantis, the Eighth Continent, where he states that a powerful civilization flourished in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And I quote, "This breathtakingly advanced continent boasted splendid cities, golden temples, crowded seaports from which the far-reaching influence of Atlantis spread to the rest of the world, until its destruction and overwhelming cataclysm." Very interesting, I must say.
Well, in my opinion, I think that the lost Atlantic have even existed. One believes that Plato created the story of Atlantis to convey some of these psychological theories. He was dealing with a number of problems that run throughout his work. He said, his idea about divine versus human natural, ideal society, and gradual corruption of human society. All of these ideas are found in many of his work. Atlantis was a different vehicle to address some of history's subjects. Historians believe that Atlantis was only fictitious history created to transmit and mentions for generation to generation. Until today, there is not evidence of the existing at some point in history about said city lost at the bottom of the sea.
Well guys, that's all for today. Thank you panelists for sharing this moment with us and saying what you think may have happened with the lost city of Atlantis. Last but not least, thanks to all of the listeners. In the box below, you'll see our panelists' social media, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and comment what you think is the most realistic theory. Goodbye!
Goodbye!